Okay, so right now it's being recorded. Make sure you're on mute, and if you have any questions, this is going to be informal, so just ask your questions as they arise. Okay, so this is mainly an overview. Okay, so the first thing was the sign-in sheet. So there are two, one for me and one for Miss Anderson, who she indicated HR may ask for those for her sign-in sheet just in case you're off campus. All right, so the second thing is that I need for you to join the Canvas course. So let's talk about how to do that. Okay, so I'm going to put in the chat area the link to join the Canvas course. So I'm going to go ahead and get that. So this is the Canvas course right here. Notice there's information for coordinators and there's information for teachers. So teachers need to join this as well. There are teacher tasks here. There's information on how to. Okay, I need to make sure everyone's muted. Please mute yourselves. All right, so then there's information on educator scoring as well. So there's information for teachers and then information for coordinators. Now, if you haven't joined this Canvas course, let me go ahead and get the link for you to join it. All right, so I'm about to copy and I'm going to paste it in the chat area. All right, so I just pasted the link. Oh, share the screen. I'm sorry. Yes, thank you. All right, so let me go ahead and share the screen. Well, okay, so for your teachers to join the Canvas course, they're going to go to ebrschools.org. And, okay, it looks like they changed the website again. All right, so let's go into Employee Resources right here. So under Employee Resource, I'm going to click right here. And then you need to go to Quick Links. All right, so Quick Links right here. So they can click on Quick Links. And then they're going to go to Canvas, and Canvas is right here. Right here, so you can click on Canvas. And I'm already signed in, but they're going to have to sign in. And once they sign in, they're going to go right here to this book icon right here. And when they do that, they're going to go to all courses, and then they're going to browse more courses. So when they click on browse more courses, in this little search area right here, they just type in Leap 360 and enter, and then they join the course. Okay, so it's the one that says Leap 360 EBR, and they join the course, and that's it. So they're now in the course. Okay. All right, so that's how, if you don't have the link I just sent you, that's how you would join the course. All right, so any questions at this point? Okay, so then the second, all right, so that's number 2. So number 2 was where I wanted you to join the course, and then I need for you to have your teachers join the course as well. Okay? Which courses do Leap 360? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Which courses do Leap 360? Does anyone know what Mr. Davis is asking?
Well, in high school, we're talking about math and ELA, which English and math classes, I think.
Oh, I see what he's saying. Okay, so math and ELA. All right, so it's always just like in the past 3 years, it's going to be math and ELA. Thanks for that question. Okay. Um, so his other question is just, all right, so it's going to be grades 3 through 8, math and ELA, and all of your high school LEAP courses for math and ELA. So it's going to be English 1, English 2, and then Algebra 1 and Geometry. All right, so grades 3 through 8, math and ELA, and then for high school, English 1, English 2, and Algebra 1 and Geometry. All right, Michael? Okay, you're welcome. Okay, now, task number 1. So here's what I want you to do. You're going to, in the Canvas course, you have 7 tasks to perform. See right here? 7 tasks. Right here. And the first one says this. I'm going to click on the little down arrow. And when I click on that down arrow, is going to open up a PDF. And that task says accessing the portal and verifying access to diagnostic interim 2425. All right, now let me say this. I'm going to show you this. Make sure you unmute, all of you. I'm going to show you this. Let me get the document. I have many things open. All right, hold on. Bear with me until I get it. Lord, where is this thing? Okay, hold on so I can show you what I'm referring to. All right, so right here, these are the only schools, that I've given access to DRC for LEAP 360 at this point. And the reason is this. Your principal had to submit that Google form that indicated who the school test coordinator would be, who the backup would be, and the backup for Illuminate, the backup for LEAP 360, the backup for a couple of other things. These, as of yesterday, these are the only schools right here, these are the only schools whose principal has submitted information. Okay? All right. So, some of you on here don't have access to LEAP 360 at this point. I need for you to talk to your principal and have them complete that Google form that was sent to them by Miss Sampe. All right, now someone's asking, backups have access also. All right, so Ms. Daigle, Shane Daigle. So I gave access to the school test coordinator of these schools right here and the principal. If you're a backup, your school test coordinator needs to give you access. And that is task number 3. So we're going to do that in a little while, but as task number 3. Ms. Daigle, did I answer your question? So Ms. Daigle, you don't have access just yet, but if your STC is on the call, then that STC will give you access in a few moments, okay? All right, now, some of you are school test coordinators that don't have access just yet. These are the only schools. All right, now here's the other thing I need to mention before I go on, and that's this. These 2 schools right here, the one at the bottom, right here. So Park Forest Middle School, I don't know if that person's on, but the STC does not have an EBR email address. So in order for me to give you access, if you're a school that's under EBR, you need an EBR email address. So once you get that EBR email address, Park Forest Middle School, then you need to contact me. Idea Innovation, if you're on this call, you don't have access because your principal left your email address off. I can't give access in DRC without an email address. All right. So these are the two schools as of yesterday that down here that I can't give access just yet, even though their principal submitted the forms. All right, any questions on this information right here before I go on? Okay, so task number one. So let's look at task number one. So task number one asks you to verify that you have access to DRC for Leap 360 2425. And all you do is this. So let me go ahead and move this over. It's very simple to do. So you're going to go to DRC for this. So let me go ahead and open up a new tab. So you're going to type in la.drcedirect.com. So la.drcedirect.com. And then you're going to do your username and password. If you forgot your password, then right here, you're going to click on Forgot Password. Okay? Your username is going to be your email address. So like mdozat@ebrschools.org. Okay, so if you forgot your password, just click on Forgot Password. All right, so let me go ahead and sign in. And when you do that, you're going to get something that looks like this. All right, now under all applications right here, you're going to go to verify you have what you need. You're going to go to Test Management. Just go to Test Management like I'm doing. And remember, all I'm doing is looking at task number one. So I'm just following these directions on task number one. Going to my applications, click on Test Management. All right. So then once you do that, you're going to click on Manage Test Sessions. And all I need for you to do is right here, under Administration, you're going to do that drop-down menu and you're going to search to make sure that you have Diagnostic Interim. See right here? That you have Diagnostic Interim 2425. So if you're on that list of all the schools I just showed you, you should have access to that. Okay, we need that Google Doc at EBR Readiness Middle. Mr. Ramsey, it was sent to the principal by Miss Sampay. So ask your principal to search his email using Miss Sampay's name. Okay? All right. Okay, so make sure that that's what you see. All right. So any question at this point? That's task number one. Okay. All right. Now let's go back to the Canvas course and the agenda. All right. So I have so many things open, it's hard to find where the agenda is now. All right. Just bear with me until I can get that agenda back. All right, hold on. My Lord. Okay, here we go. All right, so here's the agenda. All right, so we just did task number one right here. All right, and remember, access was provided to school test coordinators whose principals submitted proper documentation. Where do I go? Someone's asking, where do I go in task one when I get signed in? Where do I go in task task 1, go in task 1 when I get signed in. I'm not sure what that's referring to. I guess if you're talking about Leap 360, task 1 is right here on the test coordinator. Is that what you're asking, Miss Mack? Hello? The steps you're doing, if you click right here, Miss Mack, the little down arrow, the steps are right here. You see that? Did that answer your question? You're going to go to DRC, My Applications, Step 2, Step 3. Okay, so you're good? Okay, all right, great. All right, so now let me go back to the agenda. Okay, so number 4, right now I want to go back to the Canvas course and I will look at the testing schedule. I want to look at the forms to use, etc. All right, so let's go back to the Canvas course. And this is going to be very important that you follow along with this. All right, so now we're in the Canvas course. Okay, now the testing schedule is located right here under Information for Coordinators, Leap 360 General Information, and then right here is the testing schedule. So I'm going to click on that little down arrow right here, and it's going to open it up as a PDF. And here's the testing schedule. I'm going to go ahead and enlarge it. All right, I'm going to go, the math is located at the top and ELA is located at the bottom. I'm going to go to ELA first because ELA is easier to deal with. All right, so in Leap 360, there are there's only one interim in Leap 360 for ELA. There's the diagnostic, which measures prior year's standards, and then interim 1. Okay, so it's very important you all understand that in Leap 360 for ELA, there's only one interim. And the diagnostic, the dates are from August 19th through September 13th. And then for interim 1, for ELA, all of the dates are the same from January 7th through January 30th. The practice test, it was decided by the district that the practice test is required for ELA. And the dates for those is February 3rd through March 14th. The reason the district decided to make the practice test required is because there's only one interim. And some of the principals wanted some other data points for ELA. So the district decided to make the practice test required. All right. That's ELA. Any questions at this point on ELA? All right, someone's asking, are we allowed to begin early if we are ready? Okay, so I'm assuming, Ms. Espinoza, that when you're saying you're ready, I'm assuming you also have put in the accommodations for students. Remember, anytime you're dealing with something educational, you're legally obligated to give the students their accommodations. All right, so you can't just put students into these tests without their proper accommodations. All right? Okay. All right, so now let's talk about, so if you don't have to start on August 19th, if that's your question, if and we're what, August 6th at this point. So if you've already gone in and assigned their accommodations, or if you're in the process of signing the students their accommodations, you can begin. You don't have to start on August 19th. All right, now math. Let's talk about math. So math has two interims, interim one, interim two. And the diagnostic is the same dates as the ELA one. Notice though, the dates for interim one and interim two are not the same. See the dates for the different courses for interim one? They're not the same. Those dates are based on the standards that are on the interim test and where they fell in the curriculum. So with regards to the dates, the first, let me see if I can find it, the first test in math is going to begin around what, October 28th is the first one, and that's going to be Algebra 1. So Algebra 1 will go from October 28th through November 22nd. And then the next one will be what, 5th grade? 5th grade will be from October 30th through November 15th. So as a school test coordinator, you're going to have to be cognizant of these dates. Now, you all know me. I always send you tasks. So right before, a week before October 28th, I'm going to send a task that's going to say it is now time to create your test sessions for Algebra 1. Then a few days later, I'll send another one that's going to say it is now time to create your test sessions for 5th grade math. And then you have your interim 2, and then the practice test for math is optional. So the practice test is only required for ELA, and it's optional for math. All right, so any question at this point? All right, so that's the testing schedule. Okay. All right, so everyone good at this point? All right, now the next part is the forms. All right, now let's talk about the forms. There are different forms, so you still have to be careful with that as well. All right, so I'm going to go back to the Canvas course, and let me tell you where those forms are located. Okay, so right here on the diagnostic test, right here you'll see which version do I give. And then for the interim, right here, you see which version do I give. All right, so right now you're going to be preparing for the diagnostic. So the diagnostic, you have to look at a particular version, because when you go to create your test sessions, there are different versions when you create your test sessions for math in the ELA. So you need to know which version you need to give. Because if you give the wrong version, remember this, Leap 360 is a free site. Leap 360 is free. So if you give the wrong version, DRC will not delete those tests. You're stuck with them. Okay? All right. So I want you to click on the version. So let's go and do that. I'm going to click on which version do I give for the diagnostic right here. And then I can't enlarge this, so just bear with me. Okay, math is easy. ELA is not. So for the diagnostic, for grades 3 through at least 6, for grades 3 through 6, the curriculum department wanted the diagnostic to have the writing that was expository. And then for 7, 8, English 1 and English 2, they wanted the writing that was based on argument. So for grades 3, I'm right here, let me just point to it. For grades 3, 4, and 6, Expository is Form 1B. For grade 5, expository is Form 1A. Okay? So as you create your test sessions, it is very important you come back to this and you make sure that you're using the right form. So 3, 4, 6 will be Form 1B, and then for 5th grade, expository is Form 1A. For grades 7, 8, English 1, and English 2, they want you to do the argument writing piece, and that's Form 1A. Math is easy. For the diagnostic, there's only one form, just one form for math, so you can't make a mistake with math. All right, any question at this point? Now, let me show you in DRC what that looks like. All right, so I'm going to go to DRC, and all I want you to do is just to watch. Just watch so you don't get lost as to where I'm at. So in DRC, let me just go back here. All right, so when you sign into DRC, you're going to go to My Applications, and you're going to click on Test Management, just like you did a while ago. And then you're going to go to Manage Test Sessions. Let me click on it again. Okay, nothing's happening. Manage Test Sessions. Okay, there we go. All right, you're going to do anything with an asterisk. Anything with an asterisk is required. So I'm going to click on Math, LEAP 360, Diagnostic Interim 24-25. And then I want to add a session. So I'm going to click on Add a Session down here. And by the way, all that is in the documents I'm going to show you in a little while. But I just want to show you about the different forms. And then you're going to click on Add a Session. And then Schools Required. So I'm just going to pick a school. I'm going to pick Audubon Elementary for right now. And then go back and add a session. All right. So we're going to do a session name, and we're going to talk in one of the tasks. It tells you what kind of session names you should use. You want to make sure that when you do the session names, it's something that your teacher, the teacher of record, will know it's theirs, because they're going to have to go in and find that session to score the writing response. We're going to talk about that in a little while as well. Anything with an asterisk required. So then you're going to click on the content area. Since this is an elementary, I'm going to click on grades. I'm going to do ELA. ELA 3 through 8. And then right here, the assessment. You see the forms? Form 1A, 1B, 1C. See all different forms, right? Form 2A, 2B, 2C. Now this is all diagnostic for ELA. Form 1A, 1B, 1C. For 4th grade, Form 2A, 2B, 2C. So it's very easy to click on the wrong one. So it's important before you save anything that you make sure that the correct form is being attached to that session. So that's all I wanted to do with this, is just show you the different forms that's there. So be careful when you do your forms. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel. Any question at this point? We're going to come back at some point in a little while, and I'm going to show you how to create a test session, and we're going to do more of that. I'm going to have another session like this where we actually go in and do all this stuff. Today is just an overview. Okay, so all right, and then the next thing I want you to do in terms of the Canvas course, let's go back to the Canvas course. Let's see, I can't find it. Here we go. Nope, that's not it. All right, so I'm going back to the Canvas course, and I'm going to go to the home page. All right, now here's something else I need for you to do. Right here, and let me go ahead and highlight what we've already done. We've talked about the testing schedule. We talked about the forms. All right, the next thing I need for you to be able to do is to provide teachers with DRC overview. And so right here, Let me show you where that's at. So in the Canvas course, and it's the one that's information for teachers. Information for teachers. When teachers, remember teachers are going to join this. So what you need to remind them to do is right here. See right here? Leap 360 overview for teachers. So today or tomorrow, you can ask teachers to make sure they look at this overview. Okay? Any questions? All right, so it's a video, and it's I think it's like 33 minutes or so, but it talks about all the different things that's important for them. In, for example, teacher reports, educator scoring, interim information, the different tasks they have to do. So it's quite some information for them as well. All right. Okay, now the teacher tasks, by the way, these are the teacher tasks. I just want to show you what that first teacher task looks like. So task number 1, and task number 1 is this: viewing and understanding documents in DRC. Now, you have to provide them access to DRC in order for them to be able to do educator scoring, in order for them to be able to look at the different reports for Leap 360. You're going to have to give them access to DRC. And in a little while, we're going to do that. I'm going to have you do one where you're going to go in and create access to a teacher in DRC. All right, and then the other task that I have so far for them is task number 2, and task number 2 is the teacher overview to Leap 360 that I told you to send to them. All right, so that's task number 2. Okay. Any questions at this point? It's a lot of stuff I'm giving to you, but I am recording this, so I'm going to send this out, and you can look at the different pieces in the recording that you need to look at. Okay, now here's something else important that I need for you all to understand, and that is task number 7. All right, so task number 7. Task number 7 right here is the test security training. Okay, so I want you to, let's go to task number 7. So task number 7 in DRC is located right here. Task number 7. So when I click on task number 7, test security training. All right, now it indicates right here what needs to be done. So all of you at your school, probably every school in the district, has a new math teacher, has a new ELA teacher. That teacher needs to be test secured before they can give Leap 360. Any question at this point? Any new teacher, math or ELA, or anyone at your school handling Leap 360 has to be test secured. And you're going to use the test security policy from 23-24, the same one that you did in the spring with your teachers. Now, listen carefully to this as well. There are some STCs on here, and the STCs are the ones that have to train these test secure these teachers, by the way. School test coordinators have to test secure these teachers. Before these teachers can give the diagnostic, those new teachers who have never been test secured with the 23-24 test security policy has to be test secured. I have provided you the highlighted copy. Remember when you came in the spring, school test coordinators, when you came to our office in the spring to be test secured, we told you to highlight certain things to read to your staff. That's what this is. And then I provided you a clean copy. And then here's the sign-in sheet that you would need for them to sign in, saying that they were test secured. Okay, now if you are a school test coordinator who's new to EBR, then you did not use this test security policy from 20 through 24. So you have to be test secured. So if you are a new school test coordinator who's new to EBR, then you need to send me an email so I can test secure you as quickly as possible. Ms. Sampei, our policy, EBR's policy, is that test security must be done in person. We cannot do test security virtually. So send me an email if you're a school test coordinator who has not been test secured last year, or in the spring rather, in EBR, so I can quickly test secure you so you can come back and test secure the teachers at your school who are new to EBR. So someone's asking, I was test secured as a teacher. Do I need to be test secured as an SEC? That's a good question. No, if you've gone through the test security policy even as a teacher and you're now an STC, you do not have to be test secured again. You're good with this policy. You just go ahead for your new teachers, your new math and ELA teachers, and you test secure them. All right, thank you for that question. All right. Okay, so that's task number 7. What is a deadline for security for new teachers? Is just before they, Miss McFadder's asking, what is a deadline for security for new teachers? Just before the LEAP 360 starts? Yes. Yep. Thank you for that question. So you want to make sure that before the teachers start doing anything with testing, that they are test secured. Because here's what could happen, and some of you saw this in the spring testing. You know, sometimes as humans we make mistakes, and then that person will say, well, I was not test secured. And so then it falls back on the school test coordinator as to why that person was not test secured before the test was given. I did test security this spring with a charter school. Do I need to do it again? I guess my question for that is this. Was that charter school using the EBR test security policy? If so, then you're good. All right. So here's the highlighted copy, the clean copy, and then the sign-in sheet. Okay, any questions on test security? Okay. All right, you don't want anyone coming back and saying that they were not test secured. Just make sure they're test secured and they sign this document indicating they were test secured. All right, so that takes care of the test security. Oops, did not mean to do that. That takes care of the test security training, task number 7. All right, everyone, okay so far? Why is this not highlighting? Okay, all right. Now, still dealing with the Canvas course. I want to make sure that when you talk to teachers, that they see where this link right here, right here, to the LDU website for LEAP 360 and the Diagnostic Quick Start Guide. So here's where it's located. So I'm going back to the home page, and right here where it says information for teachers, right here, that very first one, LDOE website, LEAP 360. So I'm going to click on this, And when I click on it, it brings you to the website for L2E where it has all this information on Leap 360. It has up here the teacher's guide to Leap 360. And by the way, that video that I told you to send the teachers, I talk about the teacher's guide. So, and I talk about this site as well. So in that video, all this is mentioned to them. So just make sure today and tomorrow you have them join the Canvas course and you tell them to look at that video. All right, so there's the teacher's guide to Leap 360. There's the online tools training you want to make sure that students are practicing with. And then down here is resources, and there is the diagnostic quick start guide and the interim quick start guide. So if you click on the diagnostic one right here, I'm clicking on it, and basically you'll see a lot of usernames and passwords. So what a teacher can do is they can go in and take the test as a student would take the test online. And they would use this teacher access link right here. Now let me say this. When I click on this teacher access link, it keeps saying loading test data or something like that. So I don't know if it's just me or if it's someone else. So someone else, if you click on this and you get something that looks like this, let me see if I get it this time. Yeah, so see, I keep getting this. It just keeps saying loading test data. It's supposed to be a login. Yeah, so Miss Dennis is saying it's doing the same thing with her. So I contacted DRC, and when DRC clicked on it, it worked for them. So I'm thinking it's either an EBR thing, or it could be something wrong with the link that the state has. I contacted the state about this over a week ago, and it still hadn't been fixed. But let me just quickly. I'm going to find. I sent an email to Chris Boisia, who is our IT person, and by the way, charter schools in DRC. I'm going to show you where this is in a little while. In DRC, there's information for your IT person. So charter schools are responsible for their own technology, and I'll show you in a little while where that's located. But let me go quickly to my email, and then let me search Chris Boisia's name, and I'll paste in the chat area the link of this right here. That seems to work in that case. Let's see. Oh, come on, open up. Why is this thing not opening up? Oh, here we go. All right. Just bear with me a moment. Okay, so I'm gonna paste in the chat area. I'm going back to chat. Oh, come on, where's chat? Okay, so in the chat area is that login. So when you click on it, it should give you the username password screen, I hope. And it'll look something like this. This is what you should get. So in the chat area, I pasted that link, and it seems to work that way. But when you click on the document link, it doesn't work. But what the teacher would do is they would do that username password that I showed you earlier. Let me see if I can get back to it. I apologize. I have so many things open. Oh, let's see. Where is it? DRC. Lord. Okay. Well, I kind of lost it. But you remember a while ago all those... I guess I have to go back here. Let me just go back here. So right here, and then scroll down to diagnostic. So right here, they would have that that username and then the password. The password is Leap 360 for everything, and it's not case sensitive. And then they can go in and take the test as a student. Okay, any question at this point? So in the chat area, I put the link to get to this particular screen. Okay? All right, so everyone okay so far? All right, now I want to stop here for a quick moment. I want to stop here, and I need for you to sign in for Miss Anderson for HR. So I'm going to put the QR code. I'm going to put the QR code if I can find it. It's like I have so many things open, it's just so hard to find what I want. All right, QR code. All right, so here's the QR code right here. So please take your camera on your phone, and then this right here is the QR code that Miss Anderson sent me for y'all to sign in for her records and for HR's records. So let me know when I can remove it. If a few of you could in chat area say you're done or something like that. So that's the attendance. So there's 39 of you in here. So please, all 39 of you, you need to make sure you do this. Is important because HR could ask for this if you're not on campus. Okay, so I'll just leave that up there for about another 15 seconds or so. This is the link that, okay, so someone put Mr. Picard put the link. If you don't have your camera, he put the link in the chat area if you need to do it that way. So you can use your camera on that, or you can go to the chat area and click on that. Okay? So all of you did the QR code at this point? Miss Rubin, did you do the QR code?
Yes, sir, I did.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Working on
And
it.
Miss Stampley did as well. All right, so good. So I'm going to go ahead and remove it. Okay, but in the chat area is the link you can click on. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that. All right, and then I want to, if for those of you that came in after I removed it, I need for you to sign in using the one that our department needs. SPEMA. Who's SPEMA? SPEMA is not an option. What does SPEMA stand for? I'm not sure what SPEMA stands for.
The Scholarville Middle.
Scotlandville Middle is not in here? Let me go and check. Oh, come on. Where is this? All right, so let me go and check. Did you? This is not going to be it. Oh, they found it. Okay.
They
All
found
right.
it,
So
Mike.
thank you. All right. Okay. All right. So then I need for you to just quickly sign in for me. For our department, if you haven't done that at the beginning. Okay, so quickly sign in for me so I can have record just in case someone asks. All right, so in the chat area is a sign-in sheet for me. Okay, now let's go back to the agenda. It's like I have several monitors and I still can't find what I need because I have so many things open. Okay. All right. So we talked about this. We talked about the quick start guide right here. All right. Now the DRC user guide. Okay. This is going to be important for you. So let me show you where this is located. So I put it in two places. I put the DRC user guide in two places. One place is in Canvas. So if you go to the Canvas course, the DRC user guide is located right here. So that's going to be important. It has instructions, it has steps for a lot of things that you're going to need. The DRC user guide. So I have it for you in Canvas. So let me show you where it's located in DRC as well. So I'm going to go back to DRC. And when I go back to DRC, I'm going to go back to my applications. Come on. All right. And then you're going to go to general information. When I click on general information, I'm going to go to documents right here. So when I click on documents right here, when I click on documents, I'm going to get this. So I want to find the administration that says LEAP 360 Diagnostic Interim 2425, and then the little drop down menu right here, I want to do user guides. So there's all kinds of stuff right here, and then the teacher study guide. So that video that I asked you to send the teachers, it talks about the teacher study guide, and it talks about teacher access, and then copies of the reference sheets is here. I'm going to mention paper tests in a little while, but here's a user guide. So I'm going to click on user guide right here, and you're going to say show documents, and then you get these things. So, and I can't enlarge this, but right here you'll see these little actions right here. You'll see the PDF format. So you just click on that, and it opens these up as a PDF. The DRC user guide, that's this one here. So you see the first one, DRC Insight Portal User Guide. Charter schools, you're going to have to provide access to your IT person for DRC, because they're going to need this technology user guide. This technology user guide is needed for the IT person, because they're going to have to use this to do what they need to get your computers ready for testing. All right, so charter schools, you need to give your IT person the technology user guide. EBR people, our IT department already does that. Okay, and then here's the information for the accommodations and accessibility features user guide. All of you are going to need that, because all of you have students with accommodations. All right, and then there's the quick start guide for diagnostic, and then the quick start guide for interim. Okay, so any questions at this point? Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Excuse me, Michael. For the sign in, what do we click for when it says
does it have one for
attended?
LEAP 360?
No, I see DNA.
No, that's
Is
the
that the
Illuminate
same
one.
thing?
That was what was given to me by Miss Anderson. So I don't. Does it have other?
Just
Oh,
keep
so
scrolling down. You'll come to it. Just keep
Yeah, Miss Daigle
scrolling.
says it's at the bottom. It says it's in the secondary drop down. Do you
oh,
see it, Miss Jackson?
it's in the secondary.
Okay. Thanks for
Okay,
that
let me get to
question.
the secondary.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to go to secondary.
You see it?
Oh,
Okay. There must be
it's still
there must be
going.
a lot in there.
Okay, I see it. So there isn't one for the
Well, okay. So
elementary
yeah,
STC.
thank you for that question.
Everybody
So
needs to sign there.
so when we were preparing for this week, we were told we couldn't do anything on Monday,
Mm-hmm.
and we were told that the only thing we could do on Wednesday was in the afternoon with high schools. So then that only left us with Tuesday. All right, so with
Oh,
Tuesday, the reason it only says secondary, and you're going to use the secondary, just click on the secondary, okay? But the reason you only see
okay.
secondary is because
Okay,
right
great.
now the elementary are at the Child Nutrition Center with Miss Sampe, Miss Kimbrell on Dibbles and all that. I'm sorry, DRTPK and all that, and Dibbles. Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, okay. Thank you so much, and
Yep.
thank
All right.
you
Thanks.
everybody that helped out.
Okay. So that takes
Okay.
care of the DRC user guide. I wanted you to make sure you knew where that was located. Oh, all right. Let's do this again. Sorry. Okay. And then we talked about the technical guide for charter schools. So the technical guide for charter schools. All right, now let's talk about task 2. All right. So task 2 is the one that says adding diagnostic interim to teachers, and then task 3 talks about adding diagnostic interim to backup. So let's do the backup first. All right, so let me show you how to do this. All right. Now, when you go to the when you go to Canvas, you're gonna click on task 3 right here, and the directions are there. Task 3. So when you click on task 3, so we're going to do the backup first. And then task 3 says you will use task 2 for this, but instead of assigning the teacher role, you will assign the school role. And then you're going to give your backup the same permissions you have. Okay? All right, so let's go to task 2 then. All right, and then here are the directions for task 2. Is the same steps. So it's going to be right here. So the resources for completing this task is found here. So when you click on that, all right. So here's the thing about the giving them permissions. So you may have a backup or a teacher that doesn't even have access to DRC, right? Then you may have a backup or a teacher that does have access to DRC, and all you have to do is just give them Leap 360. All right. So number 1 says this: if a user already has access to DRC, then you use the following resource, and then this is the steps for adding the administration. So let's do that first. So if your backup is new to EBR, then that person probably doesn't have access to DRC. So just do a teacher then that probably has access. So you can click on here, the directions. You're going to open it up, and then these are the directions. Okay? All right. So I'm going to move this aside, and then it's very simple. It's a very simple process. So I'm going to go to DRC, and I'm going to go back to where we started at, my applications. All right. So listen how you're going to do this. All right, you're going to click on My Applications, and right here, you're going to see something that says User Management. So you're going to go to User Management. All right, and you're going to get this. And what I want to do is I want to see you have some tabs here. Edit User, Add Single User, Upload Multiple Users. Be careful when you upload multiple users. Most schools don't do it. Because when you upload multiple users, all that does is it adds them to, it gives them the Leap 360 diagnostic interim, but it doesn't give them the permissions. So then you have to go back in another place and give them those permissions. So people forget about that. So what most people do is they just stick with the first 2 tabs. And that's what I'm going to do today. All right. So edit user. So let's suppose you already have someone at your school that has access to DRC, and you just need to give them Leap 360. All right. So you're going to make sure this says all, okay? So you can go to all, administration, you say all right here. And then all I need for you to do is to put the teacher's first name and last name. So Miss Daigle. Miss Daigle. Can you give me the name
Yes,
of
yes,
a
sir.
math teacher at your school In the chat area, just put in the chat area. I don't want you to say it out loud. The first name and last name.
Sure. Okay.
So the chat area is not being recorded. The only thing that's being recorded is what you see. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put the first name and then the last name. All right, I'm going to say find user. Oh, so that person's not in there. Is there another one that yeah, she's not in there
Oh, she
though. I
tested
have all
last year?
administrations. Is it spelled correctly?
Yes,
Okay.
it is. Try. Let me send you another one.
Okay.
See if that one will work for you. But I haven't added anyone
No,
this,
but
this school
yeah,
year.
because I have
haven't
all
done anything with it,
administrations
so they should
listed,
be in
so
there.
it doesn't matter. Yeah, let's see.
Right, so they should be in there. But they might just be in there as teachers.
Well, it
and,
doesn't
and
matter because they
I
had to
don't
have created a DRC account. All right, let's see if this works. Yeah, okay, so that one works. I'm not sure why the first one didn't. Okay, it could be misspelled or something.
Okay.
All right, so there's this one. So I'm going to click on action right here, so I'm going to click on action right here, and when I do that, it's going to bring me to this. All right, so this is Melrose, right, Ms. Daigle? Is that?
This
Well,
is McKinley Middle, Michael. Come
I
on
know,
now.
but
It's
it says,
Buckner.
is this teacher coming from Melrose?
No, this
Okay, is
teacher's
that the
been at my
correct
school
email
for
address?
years. I'm pretty sure it is. Give me
Okay.
a sec, but I'm pretty sure that it is.
I mean, I don't think that would be two teachers with. I mean, the last name is kind of.
I don't know, Michael. I just put them when I put them in. When I put them in DRC for testing purposes, I just put them in as administrator, and I don't understand
Well,
why. Let me see
okay.
what I get from DRC.
You
Well, I know you have.
is the email address correct? Is the first initial last name with the number 1?
I'm pretty sure, Michael.
I
Give me a
know,
second.
I'm
I got a
sorry.
lot of stuff open like you right now. No biggie.
Okay. So what I'm going to do
Yep,
then? All right.
she
So
does the
that's a
one.
correct person. So I'm going to add. I'm going to click on add. And then anything with an asterisk is required. All right, so this is a teacher. All right, so you're going to click on administration. You're going to find LEAP 360, diagnostic interim 2425, and then the user role. Okay, so it's important. The user role, if it's a teacher, you need to make sure it says teacher. Okay, don't do test administrator. Don't do test administrator. The reason you need teacher is because the teacher role is going to give them access to things they need in terms of getting reports, in terms of educated scoring and all that. Okay? So teacher, and it says that in the directions. In the directions right here, that PDF, when you click on it, it tells you what role you need to give them. So teacher role. Okay? Don't do test administrator. We do test administrator for the summative. Like Ms. Daigle mentioned, she was a test administrator. That's the only time we do it. But with LEAP 360, they have to go in and they have to score some stuff. So they need the teacher role. Is everyone clear on that? Okay, not the test administrator. They need the teacher role. So I'm going to click on teacher. Then this shows up. So I think there's only one school, so that school should show up, but I get many. So I'm going to do McKinley Middle. And then we need the permission set. Since the teacher role was what I selected, the permission set should only say teacher. So when I click on teacher, it highlights what the teacher needs. So all you do then is you just use that single arrow pointing to the right, and it'll move everything here. If you do the double arrow, it's going to move everything. You don't want that. You only want what's being highlighted, okay? You only want what's being highlighted. So then just do the single arrow pointing to the right, and then this is what you get. Okay, now notice right here, see this thing that says educator scoring? That's what they need to score. If you had done test administrated, they would not have most of this. The teacher needs educator scoring, so you have to give them the teacher role. Okay? All right. So Miss Mack is asking, did you check action to get to add permissions? Yes. You go to action to get to that point. Okay, now there's one more thing I need for you to give that teacher, and it says it in that document. All right, so let me go ahead and show you. Scroll down, and I need, every time you do this, you have to do one more thing, and that's this. Right here, you have to give them view dynamic reports. You have to make sure that you also give them view dynamic reports. So I'm going to highlight it just like this, and I'm going to move it to the right. What do I press up here to move it to the right? Which arrow? Anyone? Single arrow pointing to the right, right?
Single arrow.
All right, so click on that, and it is now to the right, and then you save. So Ms. Daigle, I've given right here, I've given this teacher at McKinley Middle Magnet the diagnostic interim 24-25. And Ms. Daigle, I'm going to go ahead and delete. I'm going to delete Melrose because it looks like she was there in 19 through 21. So maybe, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just I'm going to delete that one.
All right.
So the only thing that she...
You want me to give you, Michael? You want me to give you another teacher's name? Maybe somebody.
Yeah,
didn't
we
get
only
there, so
have
you
like
can show 'em again.
20 more minutes, but I can do one more. That's no, you're fine.
I'm,
Oh,
I'm joking,
okay.
Michael. I'm joking.
So everybody okay with that? The directions are in here. The directions are in here. Just remember though, at the end, you have to give them one more thing, and what's that called? Do y'all remember? View dynamic reports. And what that does, by the way, the view dynamic reports, remember in ANET, the teachers had to go in and they could look at reports. So what view dynamic reports is, it gives them access to view the reports. And that's this right here. So when I go back to when I go back to Canvas, that's these reports right here that they are now able to receive because you've given them view dynamic reports. Okay? All right. Okay, so then we're done with this one. And then did y'all add your backup? For the backup, you're going to assign everything. So basically what happened for that is this. Miss Rubin?
Yes, sir.
Did you already sign your
Yes,
backup?
sir.
Okay. Did anyone, that's
I
okay. Did
did.
anyone not assign their
I
backup yet?
apologize.
You haven't, or you don't know
I
who
don't
that
have
person
access
is?
yet. I don't know who it is, and I don't
Okay,
have
because your
access to
principal didn't submit
360
that
yet.
Google form. Just have her do it today, and I'll give you access tomorrow, okay? But so basically, what's going to
Okay.
happen is this. So I'm going to just go back to DRC. Mr. Davis, Michael Davis. Hey, did you assign your backup yet?
Yeah, buddy.
Oh,
I don't have access either. Nan's got
Nan's got a paper form for signatures, but she
No,
can
I'm
do it
sorry.
electronically with the Google
It's
Doc.
it's not one of those. But
Okay.
Mike, can you in the chat area? I'm gonna just go ahead and do it. Although district policy is that I'm not supposed to. Can you in the chat area indicate who your? Well, I'll just go ahead and do yours, Mike. I'm not supposed to, but you're going to do your. It's okay. I'll just do yours, Michael. I'm not supposed to give you access until that Google form is done, but I need to show how to do the backup. So you're going to go to edit a user, okay, and oh, I forgot to do the add a single user. So I'm going to come back to that in a little while. So I'm going to go to right here. I'm going to click on all right here, just like we did earlier, and I'm going to do first name and then last name. I'm going to say find user. All right. Now remember, Ms. Mackey asked this question. You're going to go to action right here. You're going to go to action with a little pencil icon. You're going to click on that. And this shows up. Just make sure that is a correct person. And then you can click on add right here. You're going to click on add. And then the administration will be Leap 360 right here. And the user role will now be, which user role do you think you're going to give your backup? Anyone?
Test administrator.
Nope. I'm glad you said
Test
that.
administrator.
School
Same
access.
role as
Yep.
School access.
No, you're fine. School. Just make sure they get school.
Okay.
All right, so school access. Then their school should show up. And then permission set will be the same as the user role, school. And then I want you to notice everything is high. Oops. Why? Well, that's interesting. Because when I did, oh, I know what it is. I'm sorry. Okay. So you see where when I as a district person is doing this, so you'll see that there's some things not highlighted. But if you were doing it, you wouldn't have district in here. So everything would be highlighted. And you just click this. And Michael, I also gave all of you test tickets, incomplete test, invalidate, and then regenerate. And then I'm going to do this and then save. So Michael, you should now have access. But that's how you do your backup. The same way you did the teacher, except you're going to do school. Okay, now, some of you are going to have, let's say the new teacher, right? So that new teacher is not going to have access to DRC. That's where you're going to go now, Miss Mack. That's where you're going to go now to add single user. So let's just quickly do one. Add single user. All right, so add single user, and then you're going to need the teacher's first name, the teacher's last name, and so on. Michael, do you have a new teacher at your school, a new math teacher? Algebra 1 or geometry?
No, sir.
Okay, Miss Daigle, do you have a
No,
new
sir.
math teacher or English teacher?
I have some that aren't even in the system yet. I haven't been able to pick them up. So
No, they need an EB or email address.
Without an EB or email address? Yeah,
Okay.
I don't, mine,
Does
none of
anyone
mine have EB or email addresses
have
as of
a
yet.
teacher that may not? Yes. Yes.
Mr. Dozat, I have a question. I have, my algebra is going to be proximity. So do I just list myself, the backup, or an administrator? Because proximity, I mean, we're not going to, it's not going to be
Someone
a
has to
teacher,
go
it'll
in
be
and
probably
score.
a para in there. Yeah.
Just go ahead and put yourself. Yeah, someone has to go in and score this.
All right.
All right. So basically, y'all, here's what you would do. I'm just gonna make up a name, right? So I'm just gonna do this. So you're gonna do first name, last name. You're gonna do the email address. You're going to remember anything with an asterisk needs to be done. So you're going to search diagnostic interim. The user role will either be school or teacher. Let's use the teacher. The district shows up, your school will show up, and then you do permission set teacher, and then everything that's highlighted, remember this is teacher now, everything that's highlighted, you're going to move to the right using that single arrow. But this is a teacher. What else do you need to do? What else do I need to do? Yep.
Go to the bottom and
Yep.
add
And
the
then
view
you just save.
dynamic
I'm not going to save
reports.
because that's my information. So you would save and you're done. That's all you do. All right. So the two tabs will be edit and then add. Okay. All right. So everyone good so far? All right. So that takes care of number 9. Oh no, that was number 7 and 8. Okay, number 9, viewing and understanding documents in DRC. Okay, so we kind of touched upon that. So when I go back to DRC, I'm going to go back to the home page. So the documents, you're going to go to my applications, and that's going to be general information. We had done it a while ago. So general information. You're interested in, you're going to click on documents, and I'm still turning. Just make sure it says diagnostic interim 2425, and then these are the documents. All right, and then one of the things that teachers need is, see where it says teacher study guides right here. So when I click on teacher study guides and then say show documents, these are the information that teachers will need for scoring. Teachers need that for scoring. You see at the right here, these are all PDFs. Right here where it says action, these are all PDFs. So I'm going to click the diagnostics are listed first, and then notice there's like 43 items. There's 3 pages with 43 items. Let me do an interim math. Let's do interim 1. Oh, and then the different forms. One of the things that teachers, remember we have different forms. One of the things that teachers need to make sure they're looking at is the ones with the correct form. Here's form 1, form 2 for algebra 1 for the interim. So I'm going to click on form 1 just to kind of show you what that entails. And it's 54 pages, so obviously you don't want to print this. Just send it. They have access to this if you give them that teacher role. But it's 54 pages, and it tells them the answers right here. See the answers? And scroll down. There's the rubrics. They need those rubrics. Remember, there's some on the diagnostic. There are problems they have to score. So like number 26, number 27, number 29, and number 30. So if I go to number 30, let's say, and I click on that rubric, it tells them, and this one's the one that's 2 points, it tells them what the student needs to get 2 points, what the student needs to get 1 point or 0 points. All right. And then it has, by the way, if you really go through this, oops, I didn't mean to do that, but if you go through it, it has, let me just go to the table of contents. It has, well, I guess that was it. It should have rationales starting on page 10. I'll just quickly go to page 10. So it has the question and then the correct answers. See all this? So that's the teacher study guide. All teachers have access to those teacher study guides, and they do need them for scoring because it has all those rubrics in them. Okay? Any questions? All right, so that was the one that was algebra 1. All right. So that was number 10. The I'm sorry, number 9, viewing and understanding documents and ERCs. That was task number 4. Task number 5 is provide online accommodations to students needing accommodations. Okay, I have about 7 minutes. So task number 5, providing online accommodations to students needing accommodations. Okay, so when you go back to when you go back to the Canvas course and you click on task number 5 right here, it says providing online accommodations, students need accommodations. So you can click on the link right here, the down arrow, and notice it says this, and this is important, and some of you got yourselves into trouble last semester for state testing. The accommodations need to be added to the student before putting them into a test session. Otherwise, they won't get an accommodation. All right, so just keep that in mind. All right. So this is the document. It's 4 pages. All right. So it's very simple. All you do is this. Very simple to do. Now here's what SDCs y'all need to make sure you have before you do task number 5. You have to meet with your 504 coordinator, right? So each school has a 504 coordinator. You've got to go to that 504 coordinator and ask them which students are 504 students and what are their accommodations. Then you also have to meet with your ESS lead teacher, because your ESS lead teacher needs to tell you what accommodations those students have. And then some of you have English learners. So then you have to go and determine, based on the coordinator checklist, what those EL learners, their accommodations are. Okay? All right. So there's quite a few people that you have to meet with when doing this task. But you're going to go to DRC, and it's very simple. You're going to go to, let me go back. You're going to go to My Applications. Come on. Wow, come on. All right. You can go to My Applications, and then you're going to go to Student Management. Student Management. Okay? You're going to Manage Students. You're going to click on Manage Students. All that, by the way, is in this document. You're going to click on Manage Students. And so you God, I don't want to go ahead and put a student in there. I'm at Baton Rouge High. Mr. Davis, can you put in the chat area the name of one of the students needing accommodations, or just any student? Doesn't matter. Any student. Just give me the name of one of your students that's in Algebra 1 or English 1. Real quickly, please.
Like I know my freshman already.
or just any student, Mike.
Like I know my freshman already.
Okay, Miss Cavalier, go ahead and do it. Miss Cavalier is going to do it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm waiting for Miss Cavalier. Okay, here we go. Oops. And then the first name. So this is what you'll have to do. And then you're going to find the student. Oh, yes. Thank you.
You're going to have to switch schools.
So this is Southeast Middle. I'm going to have to blur that student out as well before I send the recording out. All right, so find students. Okay, so you're going to go right here, back to the action. Do you see right here where the pencil icon is? And let's say that student needs accommodations, right? So there's all the information. I'm going to have to blur this because all this information is showing. Right here on accommodations, you're going to see you have Algebra 1, English 1, So I'm assuming Miss Cavalier that that's student. Why?
So I'm just looking, this is a 504 student.
Yeah.
So
So
whenever I
so
looked
demo,
at the demographics, it's not marked because I
well,
was
no,
trying
it
to
looks
see if
like
it
it
was going to
is.
be
See right here when I go to
pre-loaded,
demographics, it
hopefully,
has
but
race already checked off. You see that?
it says that he's not a 504 student,
Where? Oh, okay. Then you have to change it
and
then.
he is.
Yeah. So just like with summative tests, it's the responsibility of the school test coordinator to go back in there and make sure all this information is correct. Yeah. So you still have to go in there and check all that. Okay. Yes.
So it does look like, I
So
mean, it's
So when
limited
you go to accommodations list, there's nothing
accommodations,
checked
right?
off. So you have to check it off. So you have to determine, does that student need text to speech in math 3 through 8? Does that student need text to speech in algebra 1? If it's algebra 1, you put a check mark in there. Okay? If yes.
But what I'm saying is this like limited? It's not like the normal one where we have
Well,
extended
so
time,
summative
small
test
group,
never
all those
had,
extra.
I mean extended time was extended. Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're saying there was a type that said extended time or accommodation said extended time?
Yeah,
Yeah,
usually
so
underneath
yes.
there, there's
But you
like
still,
tons
if
more
the student
options. So
has
this looks
extended
like
time, you would still
very
give
few
them that extended
options.
time, right? No, no, right. It would you
Yes,
wouldn't check it
absolutely. I
off.
just
Yeah. So it
was
looks like
just
the only
noting it
accommodations for
didn't look
in
like
Leap
it's on the
360
computer.
are these that you see here. So you would just click on whichever ones they need. Does that make sense? Sure. Yes.
Yes, sir. And can I ask you another question while I have you up? I was looking at my first 504 student
No.
just to
No, no,
see,
no, no,
and
no,
she
no, no,
wasn't
no,
in.
nope,
So
nope.
would we go through the
So
same procedures as
So, and
adding
I'm glad you brought
students?
this up, and there are a couple more things I need to tell you before y'all leave. So, this is done through eScholar. No one should be adding students in Leap 360. This is done through eScholar. So, if everything is correct in JCampus, and if the student's in there and all that at your school, then eScholar picks them up nightly, and so they'll be in here the next day in Leap 360. Okay? ANET was not
That's what
done through
ANET said too,
eScholar, Mr.
Michael.
Odom. Okay. So
All right.
any questions at this point? Okay, so Miss Cavalier, you mentioned your 504 student was not in there. Is that student new?
I'm about to pull up
Well, just give it
JCampus, but they were in
another day,
JCampus
okay?
yesterday.
And what is that student's? Just make sure you're typing in everything correct. Last
Yes,
name,
sir.
first name, okay? And or if you have the LACID, type in the LACID.
Yes, sir.
All right. So just go ahead and check it. But this is done through eScholar, so no one should be adding any students. If everything's correct in DRC, no one should be adding any students. Now, real quickly, I want to go back to the Canvas page and show you this up here. By the way, up here, I want you to understand, all of you, that Leap 360 does not provide achievement levels. It does not tell you the students are advanced, mastery, etc. Only the summative tests do that. Secondly is this, elementary. Third grade students will take the online test for Leap 360, even if your school chose to give the paper version for the summative test. So all third grade students, every student taking Leap 360 will take the online test. All right, just wanted all of you to make sure you understand that. All right, I ran out of time, so please don't leave just yet. Don't leave just yet. The only thing so I haven't been able to get to create test sessions. So I'm gonna have to do another. I'm gonna have to do another of these where we're just doing create test sessions. So I'm probably gonna do it on Thursday, and it's gonna be recorded. So if you can't make it Thursday, I'll send it out. Okay. And then I'm going to have some more Monday. So I'm going to do another one about creating test sessions on Monday. Probably around 9 a.m., Miss Cavalier. That's usually the best time in the morning. But I'll have another one on Monday, just in case you don't want to go through the video and you just want to be there in case you have questions. And then we're going to talk about educator scoring. The educator scoring is the one that teachers need. And then the last thing is, if you haven't done the QR code for HR and Miss Anderson, let me go ahead and pull that up. Please, first of all, do this attendance if you haven't done it. There's 37 people. If you haven't done it. Okay, now one more thing. This is the reflection code. So can y'all do the reflection code as well? And someone had clicked the link and placed it in the chat area. If you could do that again for the reflection code. So there's a reflection code. Go ahead and do that. And the only other thing that I couldn't get to was the creating a test session, but I'll do one on Thursday. So you should be okay. Right now though, I need for you to meet with I need for you to get all these accommodations ready. So thank you, Mr. Picard. So Mr. Picard in the chat area did the link for the reflection code. All right, y'all. I appreciate it. I'll go ahead and there's a student information I need to blur out. Once I do that, I'll send the recording out. Okay? Thank you all for coming. I was told, wait, hold on. I was told by our last STC that I need access to spring and summer. Miss Mac, I'm not sure why you need access to spring unless your principal wants you to have access to the data. Just talk to your principal, because you really don't need access if you're not doing anything with it. Okay? That reflection QR code is giving us access to edit the Google form, not complete. I don't know, Ms. Donald. This is what I was given. I'm sorry. Anyone having that issue?
That happened for me as well. I think if you click the little eye. That happened for me as well. I think if you click the little eye at the top, it brings it up in preview mode.
Ms. Donald, did you hear that? He says if you click that little eye, you can do the preview mode, and he thinks you can submit it that way. But that is what Ms. Anderson sent me. I apologize. Okay. All right. Thank you. And you can always call or email